Fighters of the 110th Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces have repelled several attacks by the occupying Russian army paratroopers near the village of Velikaya Novosayolka in eastern Donetsk region. It was no coincidence that Russian invaders chose bad weather for the attack. This is due to the poor ability of drones to intercept vehicles in snowy weather. However, a column consisting of a large number of armored combat vehicles, including tanks equipped with anti-drone devices, armored personnel carriers and infantry fighting vehicles, had to slow down their movement after encountering anti-tank mines planted by Ukrainian fighters. Later, drone and artillery strikes destroyed the vehicles in the column and some of the infantrymen trying to advance. The invaders, seeking to launch a second attack, faced the same fate. Most of the infantrymen and military equipment participating in the attack were destroyed, while some of the equipment left the battlefield. Ukrainian drones were not able to intercept them due to snowy weather conditions. However, a column consisting of a large number of armored combat vehicles, including tanks equipped with anti-drone devices, armored personnel carriers and infantry fighting vehicles, had to slow down its movement after falling into anti-tank mines planted by Ukrainian fighters. Later, drone and artillery strikes destroyed the equipment in the column as well as some of the infantrymen trying to advance. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says his country has intelligence Russia is planning to train an additional 150,000 soldiers as he ratchets up his warnings to Europe amid U.S. policy shifts on ending the war. According to Associated Press in an interview with U.S. television network NBC that aired on Sunday, Zelensky claimed the plans for training in Belarus were similar to when Russia was preparing for its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. It comes as the Trump administration has quickly sought to mediate an end to 3 years of fighting. Trump has said he and Russian President Vladimir Putin would likely meet soon to negotiate an agreement. Zelensky, who has said he would not accept any deal found without Ukraine's involvement, said it would be very difficult for Kiev to defend without U.S. military support. The Ukrainian president also said he believed there would be a 100% risk of Russia invading other European countries if the U.S. withdraw from NATO, which the continent would find difficult to repel.
Now we have, and we shared it with intelligence of our partners. Now we see how he's preparing to train 150,000 people, mostly on the territory of Belarus, to show it for the world that it's just training, that is usually he's doing the same usually, but it's not truth. From such point he began the occupation 3 years ago. Full-scale war he began from some symbolic trainings and etc.
Just to be very clear, you are saying you have actual intelligence that President Putin is planning to attack NATO countries.
No, we have intelligence, we have documents that they are preparing trained mission of a big number of soldiers on the territory of Belarus, and we just sharing that there is a high risk that he can do the same, maybe not, God bless not. And maybe before it, President Trump and the allies will stop him.
Can Ukraine survive without U.S. military support?
Probably it will be very, very, very difficult. And of course, in all the difficult situations, you have a chance, but we will have low chance to survive without support of the United States. I think it's very important, critical. But, I mean, I don't want to think about it. Yes, we have to think about it. I don't want to think that we will not be strategic partners. I don't want to think about it because it will make a pressure on morality of Ukrainians, and it will be worse the thing from the very beginning of the war. But we increased our production. That we really can count on our level of defending industry, but it's not enough.
You had a message to Vice President Vance about the potential implications of pulling out of NATO. What was your message to the Vice President?
That will be destroying of NATO.
Why?
Because in 80 strong brigades in Europe, I'm just speaking about NATO in Europe, so about 30, it's more than 30%, it's United States. And even if I will look at the army of Russia, if they will see that Russia have 220 or 250 brigades, and Europe has 50, that is the answer. The risk that Russia will occupy Europe is 100%.
If the United States pulls out of NATO, yes, Russia will occupy Europe.
Yes. Not all the Europe. They will begin from those countries, as I said, who are big our friends, but small countries who've been in the USSR and the Soviet Union. They will begin and we'll see what will be the answer. But Europe will not answer because they don't have. They will begin to defend itself. Each country defend itself, and at this moment, so